So this is Landmannalauger. I'm going to check in with the ranger just to make sure I know what I'm doing. I have a few details I have to work out, and then we're going to hit the trail. But wow. So that's Landmannalauger base right below me. And man, there's a lot of people here. There's people everywhere. So I have no idea when, you know, it's going to drop off in terms of the crowds, but time to get the trail and see if we can find some solitude. The geothermal area is just incredible. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. This landscape is barren. It's barren, and it's hard to describe it because it's green, you know, and it's black ash, and volcanic. So one thing about this geothermal steam, I guess it's gas, because that's exactly what it smells like. It smells like rotten eggs. Like, it's really smelly. I was surprised. I thought maybe, you know, everybody says it smells, of course, and I thought maybe it would be like a light smell, but it's not. It's strong. It doesn't really start to get dark until about 10:30, which is fantastic because it gives you so much more time. But it also makes you more exhausted because you end up just going all day long. So I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to put a buff around my eyes so that I can get some sleep. But here, just look at this light. So this is 9 o'clock at night in Iceland. And as you can see, there's still plenty of light in the sky. So I think it's time to crawl into my tent and get some sleep. So one thing that's totally different about Europe is you travel hut to hut. So there's no wild camping, and it's kind of nice because you get a bench to make your coffee. You don't have to make it on a rock or whatever. It's just kind of cool. Oh, the coffee's really good. But there's people everywhere. I mean, you go into the hut, it's loaded with people. The campsites, you're right next to another tent. There's people with me now. It's just the way it is. And I kind of see why, because the landscape itself is so barren, and you know, it's pristine. So, and there's so many people here that if wild camping were allowed, which just means camping wherever you want, the impact would be huge, and you would see it. You would see it because it's just so barren. So I kind of get it, and I had to pay for it. You know, it costs something. It's like $25 or something just to camp here. But well, that's the way it goes. So hut to hut. Next hut, 8 miles away. Here we go. So it looks like I am the last one to leave this hut. You can see all of these campsites, and my tent is just down there in front of me. I more or less had this portion of the trail all to myself, which is great. Great for filming, great for photography. You never know if it's going to break up or not. And I think tomorrow I'm in for some rain. landscape just changed from this to this. It's just a completely different vibe. And that glacier up there is massive. So you got a massive glacier right up there. And then you got all that greenery down there and the lake. That's where I'm headed, to that lake. And then on this side, you have all of this geothermal activity, which is also what's behind me. So that's just an incredible change of scenery coming up over that hillside. I decided to keep going to the next hut down, which is only 3.9 kilometers. The reason I'm doing it is because there's a storm coming in tomorrow, and I'd rather be tired and do this 3.9 kilometers now than in the windy, rainy weather. So no time for setups, I just have to get there. I had to have coffee, no matter what. Today is day 3, and it's getting interesting. So, I started in Landmannalauger after a bus ride, and I'm going to try to pronounce the huts this time. I've got it here on my GPS. Hrafntinnusker. I'm sure I butchered that. So that was night 1. I bypassed Alftavatn and ended up here at Hvanngil. And it's another hut, of course, and you camp. I mean, you pay for the campsite. But I got a hot shower last night. I actually got a hot shower. It was amazing. The next stop is Emstrur. Thorsmork might be my final stop. We'll see. I mean, the idea was to keep going to Skogar, but the weather isn't cooperating. And I don't know that I'm going to go up over that pass. Fimmvorduhals trail. I don't think I have that right, but that's pretty close. And by the way, if you are looking at doing this, this isn't epic. I mean, it's just epic. I don't know. That's an overused word, I think. It's incredible. Okay. It's just, this hike is very doable. I mean, you have to be in reasonable shape, but it's doable. And you see all kinds of different people on this trail. So if you want an adventure and you want something that's doable but is also challenging, this one is probably almost impossible to beat. Except it's very cloudy out there. It's very cloudy, very overcast. So visibility today will probably be less. We'll see. I'll try to film it. Okay, let's go. The rain finally came. Nothing but rain, and I can hear the river in the background, which is going to be really nice to sleep to. This is my view. It's still beautiful, and you know, it's still something to see, that's for sure. If the weather changes for the worse, it can also change for the better, right? I stopped to take off my rain pants and also the cover for the pack because, I don't know, I just don't like those things. The cover makes it hard to access the pack, and the rain pants are just not that pleasant to walk in. It's just on and off, so lesson learned. The rain gear is staying on for the rest of the hike no matter what, because it's just that unpredictable. If I had heavy wind, that would really suck. I can deal with this.